Okay, so I'll admit it, I'm often not very receptive to change in theme parks. And as such, every time Disney goes to change something, I'm like, they're doing what to Dinosaur? But generally, these changes are pretty understandable, and the silver lining to them is that they never really affect the park as a whole, only the area that the previous attraction inhabited. So hearing that the Rivers of America are going away, I was like, wow, that's one of the best areas of Magic Kingdom. It better be for a good reason. And, it's Cars. Cars? Ka-chow! Okay, so surprisingly to me, a lot of people seem to be pretty positive on this change. The common sentiment is that the river is a waste of space, the Liberty Belle is boring, and we need more capacity, so let's get some McQueen up in here. These people I like to call ka-chow apologists. And I figure it's worth trying to make an argument from the opposing point of view to hopefully shed light on why so many people hold this low-capacity, quote-unquote boring area of the park in such high regard, including me, if that wasn't obvious. And, you know, the first point I have to make is, Cars? Really? Okay, look, in all seriousness, I know that Cars has some fans. I mean, my dad loves it, but of all the IPs you could have chosen, it's one of the weakest to bring into prime real estate in the Magic Kingdom. It's just so wild to me that they chose to use such a divisive franchise for a change that they already knew was gonna get backlash no matter what they put there. Kinda just feels like Disney is making fun of us at this point. But look, okay, the bottom line is, Cars really just does not work in Frontierland of all places. Even normal cars just don't fit in Frontierland, let alone talking cars. They really tried to justify this one at D23 as best as they could, but it really wasn't enough.
American West has always been about keeping your eyes on the horizon, believing in yourself, and carving your own path, and striving towards success. That goes from miners in the mountains, bears in the country, or a race car from the big city.
Talking cars as a whole really just don't fit in the Magic Kingdom in my opinion, but if you really have to put it there, the obvious choice is the Tomorrowland Speedway. I mean, it's already halfway there, all you have to do is make the cars start speaking. Some people seem to think this wouldn't be a good idea because Cars doesn't fit in Tomorrowland. And yeah, I would agree with that, but it fits way worse in Frontierland. Also, talking cars are certainly more of the future than just regular cars, right? Because that's what's there right now. But regardless of how well Cars fits in Frontierland, the biggest problem is that it's just not going to look very good in this area of the park. All of the attractions here are designed to be looked at from across the lake. You know, Haunted Mansion, Big Thunder Mountain. You can get incredible views of them from here, and you don't even have to go on the Liberty Belle. And at night, it's just, the Haunted Mansion exterior in particular really needs this peaceful area to work correctly. The calm, decaying, autumn atmosphere of the outside of the queue is one of the best parts of the Walt Disney World version of the ride. Now you're going to be waiting in the Haunted Mansion line and the atmosphere is going to be like, ka-chow, piston car. It's ironic because the theme of the Cars movie is about appreciating the smaller, quiet town over the loud big city, and that's kind of the opposite of what they're doing here. I know that atmosphere might not be quantifiable in the same way that, like, park capacity is, but that doesn't mean it's not important. And even if you don't explicitly notice it, it certainly has an effect on your mood. And to people who don't see that, it's kind of surprising to me that they enjoy theme parks at all. Even Disney knows how important the Rivers of America are. I mean, every single castle park has one for a reason. It's a necessary part of what makes that kind of park work well. Without it, Magic Kingdom is just gonna feel like total chaos. Honestly, I think this is kind of equivalent to if they just got rid of the World Showcase. I mean, most of those country pavilions don't have any e-ticket attractions in them, so why have it? Islands of Adventure, that lake in the center, why not fill it in? We can put a bunch of attractions there. I honestly really envy Disneyland locals, but unfortunately, Magic Kingdom is very much my Disneyland. Things change in Disneyland, but it's almost always treated with so much more care and respect than in Disney World. And I think that's just because it's seen as the historical park, but Walt Disney World has its own fascinating and interesting history, and it's so often overlooked in favor of just tearing down classic attractions. Swear to God, it feels like ever since Universal Orlando opened, every decision Walt Disney World has made has been completely reactionary to whatever they're doing. Even at the very beginning, when Universal Studios was about to open, Disney tried to make their own version of that park. But why can't Disney World embrace the things that make it special, rather than trying to be something that it isn't? The one major thing Disney used to have over Universal is that it wasn't just a concrete jungle of IP thrill rides and capacity. The park itself was an attraction. Nowadays, it feels increasingly like the opposite is true. And ultimately, I think the loss of the rivers is, at least in part, just a symptom of Walt Disney World shifting its priorities to try and compete with the other big name in the area. Anyway, this is a little bit of a short video. I have an actual video coming pretty soon. I just, wanted to share my thoughts on this. And, yeah, that's the end of the video. Bye!